nothing like a moment of perfect stillness.
Why is it preferable to have stillness?
Petra? Please don't sneak up on me like that!
I didn't sneak, I just walked in.
You're here too, Professor? What's going on?
I was asking my question first. What are you enjoying about air that is still?
Still air makes me feel better, that's all. It means you're in a nice, closed-off space where you can hide.
But spaces that are wide and open are wonderful. Places like forests and oceans.
Guess we'll have to agree to disagree about that.
I am not understanding your answer, but I am appreciating your explanation. I am reminded. I was wanting to ask if you wish to be going to the forest or ocean with me.
What? What
Forest or ocean,
I
huh?
said would make you think I wanted that? So, your grandfather is in trouble. He's trying to lend us soldiers from Bridget, but the church is sending messengers there because I'd be in trouble if the Empire gets stronger.
You are saying messengers, but the truth is they are a threat. Bridget is having no power to refuse.
I get it, but what does this have to do with me?
Professor was asking this of me. I was told, if I am going to a faraway place, to be taking Bernie with me, since she is hiding away.
What? Professor? What did I do to deserve this? Haven't I gone out of my room enough lately?
Nope. Lend me your strength.
You say that, but I don't think I'm ready for this.
Bernie, I'm wanting this as well. Please, join me.
Since you put it that way, Petra, I'll think about it. You really want me to go, Professor?
I do.
All right. I'll lend a hand. For everyone's sake.
What is the point of lending a hand? Are you not needing both of them to battle?
What? No, it's a figure of speech. Oh, don't make me imagine that. Thank you so much.
Gonna be right back here for a second. And I am back. Hey, Pop Mercedes. Want her on this map because it's filled with forests. She's maxed with everyone. Sylvain was too, right? Yes. And I guess you can have Balthus again. Battalion, replenish.
Come back.
Whatever. This one's kind of annoying. Yeah, route the enemy or Petra gets to the target destination. That totally works.
This is bad. The enemy's already here.
In strength, the enemies may be winning, but I am having an idea. I have been hearing that my friends are being imprisoned in the Western Stronghold. We will be taking the stronghold and releasing our allies. Do not let loose your hope.
What? That side's crawling with enemies! We should go east. Way fewer of them over there.
Yeah, that's totally what's gonna happen.
I'll cut a bloody path.
I do this for all of us. I'll be home again soon.
I will prevail.
For the Empire.
Yeah, you can go this way, but why not?
Ready for anything.
You're a mage. Eh.
Put me in there.
Let's make this quick. What's my strategy? More fighting. Sally forth!
I'm awake.
That works. Oh. You are a mage too.
Pretty good, huh?
Look at that massive 0 damage. Wow, a mage healed.
You're weak.
You're weak.
Let's keep up the pace.
Like, just casually smap and you're dead. Casual 55 damage. Casual 165 damage.
Will not die yet. Amazing. Thanks so much.
Hope you're ready.
Holy god, his crit is 63.
Your timing's spot on. How exciting.
Hi, Mr. Healer guy. You de-equipped your magic. That was
See this
smart.
war through.
Eh.
Well done.
Here.
You lost that one.
Yeah, that's what you get for hitting me. Wow. Wow. I actually got crit by an enemy.
I've no time to...
Yeah, of course it's a second turn crit.
I fight for justice's name.
It's always a second turn crit.
Will this ever end?
Zappy zappy.
Fight, then rest.
Let's get rid of that white knight. Yeah, I don't want to suss out those attacks yet.
It's done.
Indeed. Hey, first hit shot crit. Nice. Heal her up. Yeah, I knew that was coming sooner or later.
I came here to ask the people of Bridget not to join forces with our enemies. Looks like the Empire had the same idea. Let's block the road and cut them off!
If they are blocking the road, I will not have the ability to be seen. I will prevail.
Yeah, let's not trigger that yet, then.
I'm not going down! You're all going down! The results speak for themselves.
Now I'll trigger it.
I came here to ask the people. Looks like the Empire had the same idea.
If they are...
Who are the enemy commanders? First soldier.
For the Empire!
Sally forth!
More fighting.
Yeah, that works.
Time for your last dance.
Yeah, that's overkill.
The only possible outcome.
I'll cut a bloody path.
Yay, he did something.
I do this for all of us. A little scratch won't stop me. Bernie's... Let's make this quick.
Let's just see what happens.
I've got no time for mercy.
I didn't hoping to crit there, but I didn't.
Amazing what a little blood.
I'm awake.
Put me in there.
Ready for anything.
What's my
Let's
strategy?
go in there and nuke her. Yeah, she is kinda dangerous. It's a lot easier in the other paths when it's just Hubert that shows up here. Hey, you're dead.
My heart burns with pride.
I'll have to be clever.
Great.
Your death is not in vain.
You please do something, Hubert.
Bridget will not become a puppet of the Empire. The Knights of Saros won't let it happen.
Yeah, let this happen.
Achieve anything more here. Keep fighting. Stop them.
Yay, Hubert did something. Eat my range. Of course, always a second turn crit. Fuck your
This could turn
battalion.
the tides.
Well, as you can, well, can you heal someone, I guess? I heal Caspar for one.
Thanks for helping. Might makes right.
You're just gonna crit every time. Hope she pops lethality. Nope. Boom.
Tremble before me. I cannot.
Actually, no, it's not how I'm gonna do this.
More fighting.
You can kill this guy.
One of us has to die.
Winning is what matters.
It's obviously you.
Maybe.
That shall do nicely.
Oh. Didn't know that was there even.
Sally forth. Yeah. Another fearless victory. I cannot match.
And I got a better level out of her at least. And then Edelgard can finish off Sniper Boy. Oop.
Let's keep up the pace.
It is done. Now I can be meeting my grandfather. We must be moving with haste.
Finally over? Whew. All right, let's get out of here. This
Who got
isn't
MVP?
exactly, the ideal environment for a recluse, you know.
I will be speaking with my grandfather. Professor, everyone, please be waiting here.
Got it. We'll wait right here. And if anyone comes, the professor will handle it. Right, Professor?
Sure. Ooh, that's a lot of battalions. My cat is just a loaf on my bed
Thank
behind
you
me.
so much. The vegetation around here is pretty different from the kinds we usually see. It may be no good for a recluse, but the forest does have its own charms, doesn't it?
You like plants?
Sure do. Especially the carnivorous ones.
Ivorous plants?
Yes, they just sit there nice and still and wait for their dinner to come to them. How great is that? And they all look so unique, too. What?
Ellipses.
Don't you think so? Oh, look,
Carnivorous plants
Petra's
look pretty
back.
cool.
Sorry to be making you wait. I have spoken with him.
It's been a long time since you've seen your grandfather, huh? How'd it go?
As is usual, my grandfather was well and strong. He was saying that he will be supporting us and giving us troops.
That's great! So we did it?
We did. You have my thanks. Ever since we were losing the war to the Empire, Bridget has been viewed as a vassal state. But with Fodlan at war, it is a chance for Bridget to be changing our situation. Our cooperation today is part of that chance. Bridget is wanting equality with Fodlan. We will be working hard to make this happen.
Huh.
Bernie, what is it you are feeling?
You're amazing, Petra. You went all by yourself to a foreign country? You worked hard for your homeland, and you achieved your goal. I'm always focused on my own problems, and I barely ever get anywhere.
That is not the truth. You were fighting hard for me. You came here to be helping everyone. You were not thinking only of yourself. I am never doubting that you are working hard. We will be working together to keep moving forward to the future.
The future!
You really mean it? That's so nice!
And you were telling me about your interest in foreign vegetation. That is one reason why I wanted to be bringing you here. Did it make you happy?
What are you doing?
It did! It was really exciting. I've got so many drawings I need to do before we head back. I might even have enough to make into a book. Yeah, I should do that. Want to help, Professor?
Sure, why not? Loading, loading, loading. Forever to load. Perfect.
This is...
That one went well. Praise. Why not?
What?
Might as well her. Oh, these have been going well, haven't they? I never assigned anyone to this. That explains why that hasn't been happening.
Professor?
No. Hey, I got the A with him. Awesome.
The way your sword glides through the air. I am in awe. You, paired with that sword. It may bring about my end.
Want to die?
I do not know. Perhaps I do. Long ago, when the Death Knight saw you in the Holy Mausoleum, I came to an understanding that it is you, and you alone, who are capable of slaying me. Only you with your sword can do it. Upon reflection, I can see that our encounter was fated to happen. Ever since then, I've been thinking.
Why was I chosen?
Why indeed? Why was the Death Knight fixated so fervently upon you? At that moment, he fell under your spell. You who wields the sword of the Creator. And now, as I fight alongside you, I too fall victim to your spell. That I am unable to fight you is truly regrettable.
First, we must end the war.
Yes, I suppose that is true. This futile, pointless war. Let us end it quickly then. Uniting Fodlan and overthrowing the church are mere trivialities to me. All I truly need is you. You and nothing else.
Feels like you like me.
Perhaps that is true, viewed in a certain light. And please, don't get yourself killed by some foolish brigands. You must live, that we might fight one another to the death. I must know which one of us will emerge victorious. For now, I will have to use my imagination and savor the potential outcomes of that future. I can see it now. You swiftly dodging my blade, and then at last, your sword piercing my flesh. I stumble to the ground, gasping for air, breathing my last. Or perhaps my blade will pierce you first. No.
You want to keep going with this?
That is enough. I must refrain from such fantasies. They make my urge to slay you all the stronger.
This music is just
It is enough
off-putting to what
stand
he's
by your
saying.
side while I await that day of true pleasure.
I'm counting on you.
Indeed. You and I are fated to be intertwined. I will follow you to the very gates of hell.
Nothing is
It's you.
amazing.
That's stuff I've just been missing out on. Close am I to being done with? Oh boy, that's a lot of support conversations.
Ah, a perfect balance of rich, smooth, and acidic. Coffee tastes best the day after roasting.
That's clearly tea.
Hello, Ferdinand. You seem to be in a good mood.
What is that supposed to mean? Perhaps you expected me to hold a grudge against you after our duel. In fact, I have moved on.
Have you now? Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I took it hard at the time, I will confess. I always thought that I equaled you in skill, or even surpassed you. But you showed me that I do not come close to matching your talents. Yet a true
Humbled in
noble
defeat.
does not give up in the face of defeat. I will continue my training, and one day I will be an elite warrior. That is the path I must take, as a noble and a man of honor.
You really are in a good mood. Your determination is admirable.
Yes, one day I will surpass your abilities, and I will defeat you in combat.
Ferdinand, there's something I've been meaning to say to you for a while now. Honestly, I couldn't care less that you are of noble birth. Your fierce determination doesn't come from your bloodline. It's your own doing. The reason I value you and want to be friends with you is because of who you are, not who your family is.
I have something I would like to say to you, too. Certainly we must recognize the common folk who strive for greatness and attain it.
Hey, Harlan sent me a raid. How you doing today?
Things are more complicated. From birth, nobles must excel. If we do not, we will be forced out of our houses. This environment breeds superior individuals, and they in turn recreate the rigorous environment for their own children.
How'd your
Without that cycle,
stream
there will
go?
be no political elite guiding the world towards prosperity.
So you're saying that the kind of world I'm striving to create is wrong?
I would not go so far as to say your way is wrong, just that another way might be better. If you insist upon
Tired, huh?
ability,
So you die a lot in the game you played. You were playing some versus game, right?
provide free education for all, and then select the highest performing students for more intensive training and tutoring. I truly believe that people are products of their environment.
Finding a way to educate the people. Interesting.
Cool.
I'm impressed.
I'd have
by
to
how
check
much
it out
thought
one
you
day.
give this. No matter what shape the world takes, I'm sure I'll always need people like you by my side. People with strong principles who will argue with me and force me to consider ideas that are contrary to my own.
Yes, exactly. Finally, Edelgard, you appreciate how important I am to your cause.
I've always thought of you as a valued friend, Ferdinand. That's nothing new.
Edelgard, I have to tell you something. I think now is the right time.
How'd that go?
Do you know what my ancestor Derek von Eyre said after your ancestor defeated him? He said, "You are an imperial beauty. Please, accept me as your husband."
Halt, Ferdinand. There's a time and a place for everything. But that time is not now.
Didn't quite get the Bernadetta one. Shucks.
You trust too much, allowing someone who has turned their blade on you to come near.
Because there are two sides to you, you fear that I endanger myself?
I am nothing more than a merciless killer. A demon whose only pleasure is found within death's shadow. Such a creature should not be allowed near you, dear sister.
Just what
Such
are
a
you
caring
implying?
big brother. Or little brother, I forget.
I have come to bid you farewell. Today, I will leave the monastery for good.
No, you're not.
If I stay, it is only a matter of time before I hurt you. Just like I did those in House Bartels.
You can't leave.
I won't allow it.
But if it must be so, then answer me this before you depart. Why did you kill your father?
On the day I took his life, Father had just discovered that you and Mother were hiding at a church in the kingdom. He was considering bringing both of you back home. But by then, Mother was past the age to bear children. And so, he proclaimed that he would take the only other female of the Lamine bloodline. That he would take you as his wife. What happened after that? I remember nothing of it. How I killed him, or what his final words were.
You
Yeah, have a nice night,
did
man.
it for me. To protect me.
Regardless of reasons, a demon is a demon. I have said enough.
Hold on! That isn't fair!
Not fair?
That's not
No.
fair.
You can't just tell me all of that and then vanish forever. Please stay. At least until this horrible war meets its end. I want you around just a while longer.
Hey,
All that I do
There it goes.
results in harm to others.
thanks for the 8 months too, man. Much appreciated.
The demon that lives within bears his fangs indiscriminately. You know all of this, and still you wish for me to remain?
Even if I am hurt, or worse yet, killed, if it is by your hand,
then I will find peace. I am, and will always be, your big sister, Emile.
Mercedes,
I love you, Emile. That never changes. Understand?
I understand. Then, I will remain here a while longer. Until we see this war through, I will remain by your side.
Touching. Aw. Okay, what? Suppose I guess if they're
All the ruckus, I wonder.
adjacent, they still get
Wait,
the
isn't that Constance?
experience for this, I guess. The support
this has
levels.
nothing to do with you, so keep your nose out of it.
Yeah, none of your business. Unless you're his girlfriend, that is.
You ascribe too much to me, sirs. I haven't the qualities that Balthus seeks in a partner.
So prissy. You Balthus's lady or not?
You just said no.
Please, softly. Such accusations are slander upon his good name. I have no place in the heart of one so freewheeling and glad. Were there a list of suitable partners? I should deem myself to be at the tail end of it.
If you're not his gal, then step off. We're trying to spread some juicy Balthus gossip over here. You're nothing to him, so why ruin our fun?
Because what you say is unthinkable. If you attempt to spread lies that strain credulity so, it will be your own reputations that suffer. Your reputations or your bones, should Balthus ever learn of this deception. A hairline break may heal, but the powder he makes of a man's skeleton is another matter. And that's just
Powder,
the
huh?
of the jelly that will be left of your organs. Are you not concerned?
He'll do what? Oh, guess spreading lies is a bad idea. Good thing I'd never do such a thing.
Right. This is all a big misunderstanding. Thanks for the heads up.
We're just gonna back away now. Have a nice day.
I've saved lives today. They didn't deserve the fury that he would unleash. But then, few would. Is that not Balthus standing there?
Hey,
How long have you been standing there?
Stuff about me? Don't tell people things like that. They're not the ones ruining my reputation. You are.
Oh, how short-sighted of me. I believed myself to be acting in your interest, but I see now that I was mistaken. I shall regret this indiscretion until my dying day.
Clearly, I need to take anything that falls out of your mouth with a grain of salt. Maybe the whole shaker. Still, you did stop those two from talking about me. Regardless of how you did it, I guess I should be grateful, so thanks.
This magnanimity is in keeping with the wondrous man I know you to be. So open, so accepting. You are a paragon for others to follow.
Gee, maybe it's better when she treats me poorly. Being praised like that is downright uncomfortable.
Edelgard and Lindhart 8. Part 1.
Linhart, I finally found you.
These structures were built more than 1,000 years ago and still remain. Amazing. Most interesting, there's a pattern to the saints' emblems carved into each of the sarcophagi. Here, you'll see if you come take a look.
Perhaps
That's just you couldn't get into here
right
earlier.
now, I have something to discuss with you. You've said before that you don't care about the usefulness of your research. After giving it some thought, I decided that I'd like to create an institution for Crest and Relic research, and I'd like for you to lead it. All you would need to do is carry out whatever research you like. Somebody else will decide how to make use of your findings. What do you think? I imagine such an environment would suit you quite well.
Let's be clear that I have my reservations, but I suppose I'll take you up on your offer, if you insist. Although I'm unsure...
Basically, she just offered you tenure.
If my research dries up, you'll be stuck with a worthless institute. I do hope you understand that, Your Majesty.
Why are you skeptical about my proposal?
It's because all I've ever cared about is following my own curiosity, wherever it takes me. Being head of some institution and researching as part of an organized team sounds like no fun at all. At that point, it's not research, it's just a job, and one I've been practically forced into at that. However, since I know you've put a lot of effort into preparing this opportunity for me, and since I like you well enough, I will, begrudgingly, take you up on the offer.
Well then, I suppose I should be grateful. But I'll be honest, I see little point in bringing you on board if you're so troubled by the idea. Let's put this idea on hold for the moment. I'll figure something out for you by war's end. I have great respect for your talent, Linhardt. I'm certain I can find a way to make use of it that's to your liking.
That one has a second part. Ooh, Hubert and Dorothea, eh?
Hubie, I've been thinking.
What's this all about now?
It's about what you said before, about your path.
You mean the path that Lady Edelgard and I walk?
I guess I don't really understand that kind of thing since I've always been focused on my own goals. But you, Adie, Professor, all of you are fighting for an ideal. That's big. It touches everyone. Then there's me, with my hands full thinking of just myself.
One person seems enough to me.
Maybe you're right.
Do you have something more to say, Dorothea? It is unlike you to seem so uncertain.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Hubie. It's just, I've been thinking a lot lately about whether Adie might command you to marry me.
What?
And?
Perhaps Adie might command you.
No need to repeat it. I heard you quite clearly.
Like I said, my hands are full thinking of just one person. But if you and I were devoted to one another, maybe we could strive for the future you believe in. Maybe I'd finally understand your path and be able to think about more than just myself.
Seems it's my turn to not understand. Did you just propose marriage as a way to get to know me?
Did he go jump?
How exactly would such an arrangement benefit me?
Oh, it'll benefit you.
Go on.
Well,
Must have heard something out there.
Walking with Adie will have one more loyal follower. Isn't that enough?
I suppose it may well be. Your contribution to our cause has been noteworthy. I've no complaints about your battle.
She just jetted off someplace.
And if you were able to walk the path as I do, that would be something very special.
So,
Crazy
will you
cat.
consider it? This is all because of you, you know. You made me wonder what it's like to be wholly devoted to another person.
All right. I'll consider it.
I've almost gotten everyone she can get this playthrough. I will if I can get that Yuritsa to A.
I was under the impression you were going to break all of your paintbrushes.
Cut it out, Linhardt.
I'm just glad you're back to painting. I felt terrible about what happened last time, you know. Guess I should have kept my opinions about your painting to myself.
Maybe you should have.
Ellipses. Or ellipses. Skip that.
So what do you suppose is the name for this kind of situation?
What situation? Am I in your way again? I must be. Okay, let me pack my things and I'll be off.
Ugh, no, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about when two people are together, but not together. When they're basically by themselves.
I'm not sure what you mean. I'm always alone.
Oh, alone? Well, there it is then. I suppose you could say we're alone together. We're each here alone, yet together. So we're alone together. What do you think?
Alone together.
Oh, wait, I get it. That's just a nice way of saying you want to be alone, right? Alone. If that's what you mean, I'll go.
Please, Bernadetta, you shouldn't go. Being alone together means accomplishing more. We each have the concentration one gets from time alone, but also the thrill of being with someone else. I find it to be an exhilarating environment. Have you felt that as well?
Huh? Me? I'd rather be alone, but when I'm painting, and I know you can see, I worry about what you might point out about it. Is that the thrill you mean? Because I feel that.
Here's what I wish to point out about your painting. You've really improved. Your lines are bolder, your color choice is more informed, and your composition as a whole...
Did you actually just praise me, Linhardt? What's next? A rain of flying pigs?
I was just saying what I think. Look, you probably
Who
have
knows?
talent, and you work hard, too.
Oh no, I'm on to you now. You're scheming, but you won't get anywhere by flattering me. Try all you want to get your hooks into my heart. You won't fool me!
I'm not sure how praising you means I'm trying to get my hooks into your heart.
I have a heart of stone. No one will ever get to it.
What a shame. I suppose I'll stop praising you then.
You will? No, I didn't mean it that way. You can praise me as much as you want.
I don't understand you one whit. However, if you want praise, then praise you will get. You're cute.
Don't say stuff like that!
Oh, they all Lindhart?
Huh? Caspar? Whatever is he doing here?
Whatever he feels like.
No. Is he looking for a fight with someone taller than him? The poor boy won't give up.
This is it. Today's my day. Caspar's day. Come get some.
Yes, Caspar, just like that. Just as we practiced. Yes, dodge. Yes, perfect. Right there. He's open. Punch him right in the... Yes, Caspar, you did it.
And that's how it's done. Woo! And then I got
Victory.
Bam! Right in the solar plexus. Oh, I really wish you could have... Hey, are you even listening? This is when it starts getting real good.
Did see it.
I am sad to say, however, that the tale is slightly less thrilling the fourth time through.
You should be more excited. We finally won.
We?
Yeah, I couldn't have done it without your advice. You're a strategic genius, Linhardt.
Nonsense. Your strength carried the day. I just rambled on. You're the one who did the actual work. What's really amazing is how you wouldn't give up.
Whoa, I've never heard you compliment me before. Yeah, I don't think I like it.
Sounds creepy.
Seriously, though, I couldn't have done it without you. Like you said, I wouldn't give up on fighting, and I'm not gonna give up on this either.
I should have expected that, I suppose. That's just the kind of guy you are, after all. I guess this friendship is something that we can never escape from. Ever.
We're doomed to screw with each other for the rest of our lives.
Not at all. Even if I did, our fates would not be so easily untangled.
You got that right. No one can break this bond. Even if we argue and butt heads sometimes, we'll never have to fight it out. And that's a promise.
Understood. I don't desire to fight anyone anyway. This war is the last time I'll set foot on a battlefield.
Well, that makes sense.
Let's you and I come out the other side of this war alive and well, okay? That is a promise worth making.
Definitely. And let's win this thing while we're at it.
Indeed. Dorothea level A.
Ah, here you are.
What's
And that sweet lovey-dovey music.
Dinner?
Well, that too. But first, there is something I wish to say. I believe I previously implied that it's okay to live out your days by running away from what troubles you. And I think that I was unkind to you.
What are you talking about?
To be honest, while I try to be easygoing, I currently feel a bit uneasy about something. One of the effects of running away constantly is that eventually one runs out of places to, well, run. Because I avoid memories I find unpleasant, the number of things I avoid is forever increasing. I've never learned to deal with the pain of my past, so I can never increase my tolerance toward new pains.
And?
That's all. But there are some nights where it really worries me.
That's what you wanted to say? It'd be the same if you weren't.
That looked weird on my screen for a second.
Just the up at night wondering what was coming next. Thank you, Lynn.
That was her bubbles.
I appreciate you showing me a glimpse of your real self for the first time.
For the first time? Each time I speak, I show my real self.
So, what about that conversation we had?
Which conversation?
When you said I was a great woman, was that true?
Of course. You have too low an opinion of yourself.
I thought you were just trying to make me feel better. I didn't really think you looked at me that way, Lynn.
Why? Is it so strange? You seemed rather happy about it at the time.
It's not weird. Okay, it's kind of weird.
Okay, it's totally weird.
You're weird, Lynn. You know, I'm hungry all of a sudden. Maybe I laughed too much.
Good. I was going to invite you to dinner.
You were?
When I walked in, you asked if I'd come to invite you to dinner. I said yes, but I can't be bothered to walk into town. Shall we visit the dining hall?
What? Oh, fine. Show me this easygoing way of yours.
Not easygoing, it's called lazy. Dorothea had one else too.
Linhardt, I need to be asking for your wisdom. Will you consent?
My wisdom? About?
Consent.
I was hunting earlier, and the land gifted me with lots of game. It was all brought by me to the kitchen, and then...
You're not asking me for help with the butchery, are you? If so, stop right there. I despise the sight of blood.
No, I am not asking that. All of that work and care is given right after the hunting. Giving gratitude, bleeding, skinning, all has been done to be making very nice fresh meat. That meat is sitting in the kitchen already.
Oh, thank goodness. Then whatever do you need from me? I'm not much of a cook.
And what does she
I
need?
want to be smoking the meat, so we can be preserving it. There is a big quantity of it, but I am without enough firewood for the smoking. I am needing more than I was thinking I would. The darkness has fallen outside, so it will be difficult to be collecting it right now.
Why not gather wood in the morning? Get some sleep now.
This meat will not be waiting that long. It will be going to waste. Please, do you have any suggestion for what I can do? You have much wisdom for giving, so I am hoping you will be helping me.
Okay, let me see. Easy to forage wood at this time of night. You know, there were a good number of desks and chairs in the ruined corner of the monastery. Some of the stuff there is salvageable, so none of it has been thrown away. There's definitely high-quality oak and beech out there. Both would be excellent for smoking meat.
Is that factual?
Really?
I was not knowing that. The wisdom you give is exceptional.
Well, I wouldn't say that. As long as it's anything that looks broken beyond repair, no one should complain.
I am giving you my gratitude, Linhardt. Now, let's be going.
Pardon?
You have all of the wisdom about choosing wood for smoking. I am wanting your assistance.
But it's bedtime. Okay, fine. I can point out the choice smoking wood. Then I'll have to help haul it all back, won't I?
It would give me great happiness. There's no one better than you for this task.
Please stop with the praising. Alright, fine, I'll help. I'm just...
Fine, I'll help.
That nice a guy.
Ah, Petra and Dorothea got A too.
Oh, Petra, are you researching something? Yes, I am investigating useful fighting techniques.
You're always
Useful
trying to
fighting
become a better
techniques.
fighter. Personally, I'm sick of all the battles.
You are feeling sick about battle? Oh, I understand. Yes, I am also wishing for this war to finish quickly.
Sooner the better. I don't even remember the last time I washed my hair.
Yes, it is hard to be braiding your hair when it is damaged from lack of care.
Speaking of, you know, I don't think I've seen many braids like yours, Petra. I assume it's
Unique
a
to
hairstyle
Bridget?
from Bridget? May I take a closer look?
You may. This style of braiding has been passed down through my family.
How very elaborate. That must take a long time to do.
Your words are delighting me. Braiding it does take up a great amount of time every day.
Every day? Now I suppose you couldn't sleep with your hair like that, could you? When there's time, do you think you could teach me? It would be fun to match you every now and then. And once I learn how, I can help you with your hair. What do you think?
I am really liking that idea. It would give me great happiness to have our hair match.
I'd like it too.
Dorothea, before I had confusion. I thought you were being overly familiar, but then I gained understanding. Now I am knowing that is how you show your kindness, and I have much gratitude for that. It is impossible to be imagining life without you. You are precious to me.
Petra, what a lovely thing to say.
Aww.
I might just cry.
If you will be crying, you can have my... my shoulder. For your crying.
Oh, I was just playing around. But if I ever do need a good cry, I do hope you'll lend me your shoulder.
My shoulder will always be available for you.
Oh, yeah? So I don't even need to make a reservation or anything?
A reservation? For my shoulder?
Oh, I just meant... You know what? It doesn't matter. What matters is that I enjoy spending time with you. It makes me stop worrying about marriage and status.
If that is the truth, then will you be coming to Bridget with me?
Huh?
When this war is finished, I am wishing for you to be seeing my homeland.
You are? Oh my. I'd love to, Petra. As soon as the fighting is done, I'd like nothing more than to see Bridget with you.
Hey, that's all my supports. Anyway, though, I think I'm done for the night here.